Well, hello, my fellow patrons. Welcome to Diacrisis One's YouTube channel. I'm actually on BitChute. I'm actually on Rumble. I'm actually on a whole bunch of other platforms, but I haven't really broadcasted because I haven't really done much with it. I've got videos on each one. But I haven't posted hardly anything here on YouTube. Matter of fact, like I said before, I deleted everything. But I wanted to just come and reason with y'all together. I wanted to reason, to discuss things that, well, let me just start off. Climate change, overpopulation. Let's start right there. Climate change, it's a hoax. It's a way for the globalists to enrich themselves. We're actually in a grand solar minimum. The sun's doing some funny things, and it's causing erratic weather patterns. It all has to do with the sun, and this thing with the carbon credits, it's a big farce. It's like, do they not teach about plants and animals in school today? Do they not have biology anymore? Do children not learn about photosynthesis and stuff like that? The gases that they are saying is harmful, is it carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide? Anyway, one of the two is what we breathe out. And forgive me for not knowing which one it is right now, but man, my mind's so full of crap, it's like hard to remember what my name is, okay? So we breathe out your exhaust gases, plants belching out all this emissions, okay? During the boom, industrial revolution in this country, back at the late 1800s, 1900s, what have you, that was some of the greatest agricultural days. Plants were green, trees were green, and there's a reason for that. The plants breathe in that material. I'm going to just say it's carbon dioxide. I'm just going to use that term. Could be totally wrong. Could be the other one. They breathe that. They take that in, and through photosynthesis and all that, they expel oxygen. So what we breathe out, the plants breathe in and create oxygen for us to breathe in, and we breathe out, and they breathe in, and they breathe out, and we breathe in. And when you have plants putting out all these carbon emissions, man, the grass around them are going to be green. The plants are going to grow. It's not like what they're saying it is. They're totally wrong. And these people know that. They're not stupid. It's a money-making scam. It goes against science. It goes against what reality is. Have you figured out yet that you've been lied to about every damn thing? They've lied about everything. There's no climate crisis. It's the same thing that's going on for millennia. Now, when I was young, we was going to go into an ice age, which is probably more accurate. Then it was global warming. You know, then they decided they couldn't use that again, so then they used climate change, because the climate's constantly changing. I mean, if there's a little hiccup in the weather and you have a snowstorm like we had last year, I mean, it's climate change. If the polar ice caps melt, it's climate change. If they grow, it's climate change. You know, they're full of shit. And the whole thing is with these global infidels, these global incestuous people, they believe in like the divine right of kings, you know. I mean, they want there to be less people on the earth. You know what they think about you? They think you're a brain stem with a crap factory at the other end of it. You're a useless eater. They want us gone. They want us off the planet. They want us dead. Do you understand that? This is what we're up against. They're not elite. They're freaking criminal. They are inbred. You know, they're just a bunch of inbred people that are psychopaths. You know, they don't have any feelings about you. They don't have any feelings about their own children. Man, they sacrifice their own children to this thing. They believe in themselves. They believe in their power. They believe in eugenics. They believe in world depopulation. Now, let me give you something, and you could do the math. You could do the math on this thing. You could take, as a matter of fact, you know, I would suggest you do this. Go to, there's a website, you can search it out, what the square feet of Texas is. The square feet. It's known. They know what the square feet of the state of Texas is. Okay. You could take that number and divide it by 8 billion. Just say the world had 8 billion people on it. Okay? Now, you could take that number of people divided by the square feet of the state of Texas, and you know what you would come up with? You would come up with about 1,100 square feet. So that means if you took every man, woman, and child on the planet Earth and stuck them right square in the state of Texas, they would each have this 1,100 square feet of walking space they could call their own. Now, does that sound like the world is overpopulated to you? Now, the whole rest of the world could be one giant garden to feed these people. Let that sink in. That's what these people are trying to convince you, that the world's overpopulated, that there needs to be less people on the planet, that they want to, you know, help save the planet from us humans, that we're doing damage to the earth when the sun is going through a cycle and it's causing weather patterns to change. We've hardly done anything to this planet. I mean, I live out in the country. I cut a tree down, you know, more grow up. I've seen them cut timber out here, and within a matter of years, you know, they cut pine down, the pine cones reseed and everything, and before you know it, man, you got You know, another 20 years, you got a bunch of big tall pine trees again. It's like it looks overpopulated when you're in places like Dallas and Houston and all that stuff, because it's like a coral reef. You have a whole ocean out there, you know. You think it's so full of fish and everything, but you get around a coral reef, man, I mean, there's nothing but fish swarming that thing. You go out in the ocean, you can't catch crap because there's nothing out there. They're all around the coral reefs. They're all around structure. They congregate. It's kind of like the cities. That's like a big old coral reef to humans. You know, they all swarm there. And out in the country, you know, you have a few stragglers here and there, you know. That's the way it is. The world is not overpopulated. They want you to think it is. So there's a lot of things that I don't really discuss, because you try to wake up people with reason and not a bunch of woo, you know, woo-woo. A lot of people like talking about woo-woo. Then people sit there and turn themselves off. They don't want to hear it, you know, because it goes against their belief system. And that's one of the hardest things to break. The doing of religion is one of the strongest narcotics there is, you know. Now, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not really religious. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, you know. And I go to church, but I'm not led by any person sitting there telling me what to do. I believe in Jesus as a Son of God. No one's going to convince me otherwise of that. But I don't sit there and go along with a lot of religious philosophy, like religious beliefs and stuff like that, you know. I'm saved by my faith in Him alone, period. Not by my works that I do, it's by what I believe, you know. So nobody's going to make me sit there and go and pass out water bottles on a street corner, you know, for Jesus. Those things are all fine and good, okay? But there's a lot of, I will tell you that we've all been lied to, okay? That's a known. We've been lied to about virtually everything for virtually my entire life. You know, all the wars we've been lied into, you know, Gulf of Tonkin, when I was a kid, it was a lie. Vietnam War, we got into it because of a lie. You know, all these wars are for lies. It's to enrich them. They send us to war to die while they get richer. But the point I'm trying to make is there's things like these people are lizard people. Well, and then they'll sit there and show a video of someone where it looks like they got fangs and it looks like their eyeballs are turned into cats. That could all be true. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that digital, when it breaks up, it pixelizes and it does all kinds of weird things. You know, it's not like having an analog video of somebody doing something. It's always all pixelated. I don't know if these people, I mean, their father, the devil, the dragon, they called him a snake and then a dragon. It could be, you know, serpent seed. I don't know. And another thing is like the earth is flat. Is it? I don't know. I know there's, you can look at video evidence of certain things, you know, make you think. The point is we've been lied to. I don't think it is what we've been told it is. But that doesn't mean I know what it is. But when I go and look at it from my biblical knowledge, in the beginning, you know, when God created man, you know, Adam and Eve, they were in a garden. It was perfect. It was paradise. And then when they rebelled against God, when they did not obey God, and they didn't stay away from the tree that He told them to stay away from, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because there was one tree put in the midst of it that He told them, don't eat of this, because in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Well, they didn't live past 1,000 years, and a day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day to the Lord, so they died within their day. But my point is, in saying that, is there's a place, and when they did that, they were cast out of the garden, and there was angels put there with a flaming sword to keep men from ever entering in it again. So there's a place, and when I think of a garden in this aspect, I don't think of it like my backyard garden. I think of it as a great expanse where all animals dwelled, all manner of trees and wildlife was. I mean, a vast expanse, like a continent expanse or beyond. When I think of a Garden of Eden, a Garden of God, okay? So what I'm saying is what we're living on here in this realm, all the continents in this realm is outside of the garden. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on with Antarctica. You and I can't go there. It's all been sealed off since like the 50s. All the nations come together and had a treaty. And me and you will never ever be able to go there on an expedition. Now, I won't say ever, but as long as these demons are in control, we won't. But I know Admiral Byrd and all them said the land beyond the poles. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm not sitting there saying I know that the earth is heliocentrical. I'm not saying that it's square. I'm not saying that it's flat. I'm not saying that it's hollow. What I'm saying is I don't know what it is. You know, it could be much, much larger than what they're saying it is. And if you lay out, there's just so many things I'm not going to get into, you know. I don't know about lizard people. I don't know about what the earth is. What I'm saying is that I don't know, and what I do know is they've lied to us our entire life about virtually everything. Now, back in the day, back in the early, 19th century, you had a person named Tesla. And what he did was he took, he had a box and it had an antenna thing coming out like a square antenna, you know, a square. And he was able to capture the solar winds, and he was able to power a house. Now, you know, the solar wind blows day and night. You constantly having this earth bombarded with positive, negative energy. I mean, it's constantly coming in. The solar wind's coming in. He had this device that captured that, and it was free energy. But when he died, the men in black rolled in and took all of his technology. He was able to send electricity, Wi-Fi through the air from one place to another back then. So there's no needing in all these power lines going everywhere. That trees fall on and knock out your power, and there's no needing for all these coal generator plants and nuclear generated plants. I mean, there's devices that have been invented that capture the solar winds and create electricity. That technology is like 100 years old. I mean, we've been lied to about virtually everything. That's what's awaiting us, you know. I mean, when we get past this, and we're like children on a trip with our parents, and they know their destination, and then we're constantly in the back seat going, are we almost there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? How much farther? You know, I mean, things are going to change, and when they start changing, they're going to change rapidly, and there's going to be some hard times, and I suggest you get prepared, have you some beans, rice, flour, sugar, get you some stuff like that stored up, water if you need it, you know, because there's going to be some days ahead that might be a little bit dark, you know, especially when a certain truth channel opens up social. So I would suggest y'all always kind of be a little bit prepared for you know, some tough times. So I'm about here at work, so I'm going to bid y'all adieu and be of good cheer. We got some awesome days ahead. I mean, we're going to look back at these, man, and be able to tell our grandkids about this stuff. You know, what did you do during the great WW4? Anyway, God bless, dear patriots. Keep your chin up and keep your powder dry. This is a Diacrisis 1. I am out.